I'm finding the Christmas season being sort of a confusing time in that there are all sorts of calls out there, to help. And I'm thinking of this black man who was living in just a real terrible situation, and people have gone in to help him sort of against his will. And I'm thinking, he chose the situation he's in, but did he attract these people to help him get out, or are they just do-gooders that have entered into his reality and trying to rearrange it?
You would only know the answer to that if you were able to observe him and the emotion that is emanating from him. If their interaction is uplifting to him, then it is the completion of something that he wanted. If their interaction is irritating him, then it is not in harmony with what he is wanting, but in harmony perhaps with what they are wanting. And so perhaps he is a pawn playing in their game rather than them being pawns playing in his game. Is that what the confusion is about?
Partly, and I wonder how Christmas and the Christmas story and all that we've all grown up with, I find myself looking at it totally different, even though I've never bought into it as much, but I do find myself looking at it differently. And
there are many Christmas stories that abound. The predominant one that we are hearing is there is this little round man in a red suit with a long white beard who lives at the North Pole and has elves and reindeers and delivers presents. That is the predominant Christmas story that abounds here. That is what is upon the minds of most. If you are speaking of the Christmas story that surrounds the birth of the baby Jesus, that one is not as well rehearsed, even though it is older. What is it you're wanting to talk about here?
I'm not real sure. I guess I'm experiencing a little of what myself, because all my friends are involved in going to their churches and the Christmas pageants and the virgin births and helping others during this time. And I'm standing back and looking at it through different eyes.
As we are observing the feeling and emotion that surrounds this time of year, our very clear acknowledgement is that it is a time of lack. More individuals are feeling negative emotion during this time for a number of reasons. The primary reason is it is the time of giving gifts, which means that it's the time of spending money. And since money is an area where there is already great emphasis to not enough, it is inflammatory to that old nagging concern of not enough money. The attention to the greater reason, the attention to the story of Christ, the attention to uplifting others, somehow is soothing to that feeling. In other words, it is a diversion or a distraction from that which does not feel good. And in that way, we think it is a very good thing. We have never been very excited about history, and neither is the one for which this great holiday has been called. Never wanted it to be that way, never asked for it to be that way. In fact, ask exactly the opposite. And so Christmas is not something that Jesus Christ celebrates. That is our absolute assurance to you. It is something that he gives not any attention to at all, because it has become a time of suffering, a time of misery, a time of great sadness, or greater sadness than anything else. He's much more interested in the story of Santa Claus, to be quite frank. You think we're having fun about this. We could not be more serious. It is the positive aspects of your experience that we are all giving our attention to, you see. And any time that you are experiencing lack or pain, even if you had to go back 2,000 or 3,000 years to dig it up, we say there is no virtue in that. There is no virtue in the pain that you have dug up from your own life experience, and there is far less virtue from the pain that you're digging up from somebody else's life experience. And so if your friends are looking for a way to make themselves feel better about looking at things that make them feel sad, they will not find it. Now, we are not saying that that is always the case. For we know that there are those that really are wanting to be uplifters. And really at this time, when they have warm food in their stomachs and warm fires in their fireplaces and very comfortable surroundings, it is a time when they are looking at those who have less, and they are wanting to be of value. And we say, there are many ways of being value to those who have not as much as you are. First of all, do not notice their lack. Do not give your attention to what they have not. That is like going to them and taking the pieces of their lives and tearing it into little pieces and saying, this is what your life amounts to, for you cannot take care of yourself. You are unable. You are incapable. Even sometimes they say you must not be worthy. Therefore I, who am wiser and stronger and smarter, will give you a piece of my life. And that should make you feel a lot better. And we say the main message that you give to them is, you cannot do for yourselves, therefore I will do for you. And most of them are standing there feeling diminished by your offering, resentful of your offering, or demanding of greater offering. All of it negative, and all of it counterproductive, and all of it self-perpetuating. And so we say, if you have let what is most important to you, your top priority, not way down on the list where it has been most of your life, but now right up here at the top, most important priority today is that I feel good. Then you will find yourself smiling at a time when someone really will benefit by your smile. You will find yourself veering out of someone's way. You will find yourself offering the words that are perfect in the moment. You will find yourself uplifting as you are uplifted, you see. And so we say, to some those pageants are uplifting, and therefore they are in the perfect place. To some those pageants are not uplifting, therefore they're not in the perfect place, they're just playing the game. They just haven't figured out how to not be part of it, because it is all they've ever known, you see. Tradition sometimes feels very good. Tradition has many wonderful things wrapped in with it. It is all tied together, isn't it? As you have memories of past Christmases, some of it is the good, some of it is the not so good. Select from it the good and replay that every year if you are wanting. But what we are wanting to say to you is that you need not a special holiday that is written on the calendar. Let every day of the year be your re-emergence into this exhilarating life experience, with your beating on your chest and saying, here I am, happy to be alive, and today going to look for the positive aspects everywhere I go.